It seems so simple to play beautiful melodic leads, but somehow the simplicity is not always easy. I talked about that briefly in my last YouTube video, how to use space, and I gave you 3 approaches on how to just declutter your solos. Today I want to take it a step further and talk about gaining authority in your lead playing. And personally, for me, the ultimate example in rock guitar is David Gilmour, because he is probably the guy that plays the fewest notes and has the most impact in his solos. And he's also not a very educated guitar player in terms of note choices or so. You know, he mainly plays the pentatonic notes, but it doesn't matter because he is so connected to what he plays that he has the ultimate authority. So today I want to give you some practical approaches on how to develop more connection to what you play. Simply put, how to put more meaning into your solos. And by the end of this little session here, you should have a new idea or a new vision of playing with authority and communicating something to the listener rather than being dominated by your own need to play a lot of stuff. Where you get more to a state we can let notes or music flow through you rather than having to prove yourself. Because believe me, that's a big burden for a lot of guitar players. Even non-professional, you know, hobby players, they just get nervous when they're around other people and they just feel somehow they need to play more. Do you know what I mean? That's also the reason why very often when you go to a jam session or so and the adrenaline kicks in, you always feel like you're not playing at your best. It's always better at home. One thing is because you're just playing too much. So let's have a look. So I'm using this beautiful Pink Floyd inspired backing track here. I'm gonna put the link down there in the description. And what I want to talk about here is to first even get a real feeling for pitch. We want to be able to just play one note that just sings so beautifully. So can you actually play one note that just seems to be able to go on forever? Let's give this a try. I'm just going to put on here an E minor drone, just like at the beginning of this piece here. And just even play one phrase. Here we're gonna do a full phrase. And maybe use a fair amount of gain to have the distortion there. So can you play like a long sustained bend note? Because if you cannot bend like this, then it's going to be hard to have that authority that we're looking for here. Yeah? So bending, especially the root note with a whole note bend and the fifth with a whole note bend. And being able to control the pitch. To really like zone in. Let's just crucially important on this. Yeah? So there is a technical aspect to this, craftsman's aspect, where you want to be able to really control the pitch on these simple phrases. They're not rocket science, they're super simple, but it takes some skill to hold the note, to intonate pretty much flawlessly, and then also add a little bit of vibrato at the end, which, you know, my vibrato here isn't super silent. It's kind of noisy the way I played it here, but it works. Huh? So give that a try. Huh? That's number one here that I want to cover. So number two of this is that we want to be able to pre-hear our phrases. No matter what you play, it can be super simple, and when you stick to the pentatonic, it's actually easier. But the way to get more connected to your notes is to be able to pre-hear the phrase that you're gonna play next. Yeah? I'm gonna give you an example. So if we have, just without the chords, just on that E minor drone, if we, and by the way, you can also try that with the beginning of the backing track. That's just the drone. It's the same thing. Yeah. So if I just kind of close my eyes, you know, and I can just think of like, okay, what do I want to hear? What do I really want to hear on this track? Yeah? And I'm just hearing da, 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 da. Let's say I want to hear that phrase, and even, you know, without any theory, I'm just gonna find those notes on the guitar. Yeah? So just find those notes, and then I know, okay, this is actually the 4 interval, or the A note, right? And then what I want to be able to do is play this phrase that I hear in different areas on of the guitar, maybe with different fingerings, and be able to play, right? Or maybe play, or play, or maybe even, yeah, you see? You see how these little different phrasings make a world of a difference, and it also gives you the freedom to not be glued to a position, but actually to just follow the melody and follow what you're hearing. That is super powerful. That is really like, you know, when you listen to someone or you watch someone on stage, if you feel like they're just following their inner voice, that's so powerful. Yeah? That's so much more powerful than them playing 100 notes a second and just playing all the patterns that they learned. Do you follow me? It's very important. So you can train this over drone without time pressure, where you just follow your inner voice, pick very simple melodies, can be even just 2 notes at the beginning, yeah? And you're just gonna follow these intervals and hear them. But you wanna sing them, yeah? Singing is a very important connection there, because singing is your inner voice put on the outside, yeah? And then you have a reference. Even if you don't hit the right pitches, you're gonna get better and better at visualizing what you wanna play next. Which leads me to my third topic, and this topic might not be so obvious here in this slow backing track, but a huge part of authority, next to what we already covered, the phrasing, the pitch, and the pre-hearing of the phrase, a huge part of that, and that's going to be my number 3, is the rhythm of what you're hearing. So you also want to pre-hear the rhythmic content and not just the pitch. So I'm gonna go back to the backing track for that, and now I actually want you to play a simple rhythmic motive that you're gonna just stick to, yeah? So this is slow shuffle here. I'm gonna pick a rhythm, and I don't care about the pitches right now. I'm gonna play da 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 bam bam, da 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 bam bam bam. That's my rhythmical motive. Da 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 da. It starts on the 2. Da 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 ba ba ba. It ends on the 4. Yeah. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, give this a try. You know, this might not be so easy at the beginning, but this is a key element to play with authority, is to have clear rhythm. Because so often, and maybe you can observe yourself, guitars is just kind of like this, right? And you might think like, okay, Ulrich, that sounds pretty cool. You know, yes, I've done this for a while, but this is the equivalent to rambling in the musical world. Yeah? You're just rambling, you don't have clear rhythm, your notes are just all over the place. And this might work for a little time, but then you really, if you want to make a statement, you gotta land on certain parts of the beat and know what you're doing and have clear motives. It's just so much more powerful. Yes, so these are 3 approaches that are gonna help you to develop more authority. And what this really is to move from mindless noodling to intentional practice. If you want to learn more about my structured practice approach, and you want to learn how to implement that into your daily practice with as little as 30 minutes a day, then click on the link below there, and I'm going to give away 5 customized game plan sessions. So we're going to go over your goals and your practice, your current practice routine, and we're just going to optimize and get you better results. In that sense, keep on rocking. And if you're on this channel, you know, like I think only 20% of the people watching my videos are subscribed. So please give me a like here, subscribe to the channel, and watch this video here next.